Welcome back. Truly back after a week absence.
Yeah, a little bit of
hiatus.
a little bit.
We were fighting.
Were we?
No.
We're beefing.
We were still chatting volleyball just off the air.
Just off the air.
Now we're back.
I was chatting with no reception. I was really trying to stay off my phone, actually. Yeah, we'll get to that.
Damn.
We'll get to that.
Well, I'm Alex.
And I'm Mitch. Welcome back to another week.
Another week. There's a lot going on now that we've complained that there was nothing going on, I think, the two weeks ago, because it was really that
It was quiet.
lull, and then we didn't get to do like a preemptive
It's like
chit chat about some of these things, and now there's too much again.
It's like when you take, it's like when work gets a bit much. So you take like a sick day, like it's not really a sick day, but you take a sick day and then you come back and there's just more work because you took a sick day. Whoa, why does it work like that?
Yeah.
That was what we've done to ourselves. So we've got a lot to cover. So we're going to get right into the sleigh and shame. You want to go first?
Yeah, I can throw it in there. I still haven't really thought about the sleigh. Maybe it's I booked flights. The bank account's a little
lower than usual.
tighter than what it should be. But
Booked flights to Europe. That's pretty sleigh.
yeah, pretty nice, and extended it a little more than what I thought.
Speaking of some work leave.
Speaking on work,
Yeah.
You reckon it's okay if I just... The flights were so much cheaper on the Wednesday versus like
The Friday
the
or
Sunday. I think I originally was like, I'll leave at the end of the week, so I could still work that week. And my leaves, it gets me an extra week, like a week working. And then I was like, they're half the price on the Wednesday. You reckon that's okay?
And your boss was like,
Yeah.
no, but like fine.
He's like, you don't do anything anyway. So, I've been working. There's heaps of work at work, so I am tired too. But I've been trying to find time to watch all the volleyball that's been going on because it's back to being heaps.
Yeah, and I've also been horrendous. I've gone back to what is typically easier for most people, which is just watching the highlights, knowing that like a good 10-minute chunk that I can just figure out who won and then move on.
Or I hated a little bit looking at the results and being like, is this game worth watching?
Yeah. There's a couple games where we were messaging, we were like, do we go and watch this?
Do I have to watch this?
Yeah.
I will. And then my shame can just be that we didn't talk about last week or 2 rounds ago. It's now 2 rounds ago. The round...
we'll cover it though.
We'll cover it.
Quickly.
We'll hit it quick. But that's why we cancelled the app, is I just got cooked so much by Seb on Mazenod, you know. I just got yelled at. I couldn't block him.
Yeah.
His touch is way higher than me. So I was gonna give him his flowers. But no, we cancelled the app.
Yeah.
And we also cancelled the match of the week. So it just wasn't Yara.
Because we couldn't have Yara do it again.
And I think our match of the week this week is
It's
going to be Yara again.
Yeah. For both men and women. They're like, what can we say? They're having a good year. Yeah, my sleigh was, Kate and I, work last week was cooked. I'll get to that to the shame. So Kate and I had a little getaway in Leongatha. It was really nice. It was just like, needed time away from technology and from volleyball. Just needed a little break. And the shame can be, I had some really gnarly deadlines last week, and I promised I was getting them done. Like, I was getting my deadlines done, but the client just kept moving the goalposts. I'm looking at this thing like, I've done what you wanted 3 times.
Well, they moved every goalpost except for the deadline.
Except for the deadline, that mattered. And I was like, look, you've changed the brief. Can we change the deadline? Because I've done what you've asked. You're just changing the artistic direction, which, like, fine. It's just the industry I'm in. But it happened to coincide with when Alex and I normally record. And I'm sorry, but my client does pay me more than you do, which is nothing.
What? That's
outrageous.
Crazy.
Anyways, moving into the many volleyball updates and headlines, let's start with the national.
Yeah, AJVC.
Is it still called that? It was called that when you and I went.
Or is it AYVC? Because I get confused. Because AYVC is the under 14s through 18s. Yeah. But, so I think this is now AJVC.
Everyone that I say and speak to, because like there's junior and youth, right?
Yeah.
In my brain, junior is younger than youth.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's just me.
I think it's just you. Oh. Yeah, this was junior, but like...
So this is under 23s.
23 still junior?
So you're like a youth adult.
Yeah. It's a real testament to how much it's expanded, because it used to just be 15s, 17s, 19s, 21 and 23s all at the same comp. And now there's 100,000 teams.
Which is great. But yeah, so that was last week. We're just going to cover the Victorian teams because that's just the feed that we have. Sorry to everyone else.
I mean,
next year.
They had a lot of success.
They did
so there was a lot of stuff in the feed.
Yeah.
And we probably didn't get to talk about it enough, because I think the offhanded comment before it happened was, "Oh, Queensland will win the Shield, whatever, from this event."
Did we find out who won the Shield? Was there a Shield to be won?
I didn't see a Shield get handed out. Maybe that's just a youth.
I wonder if it's combined
or it's combined across.
Yeah, like
them
they
both.
have to wait until the youth is done.
But I hadn't really comprehended the Victorian teams were pretty
pretty
stacked.
good. Yeah.
There was a lot of talent there. You know, there's a lot of talent that stayed within Victoria this year.
I was actually talking to another coach about this. There's actually a number of young. This is mostly on the women's side, not the men's side. The men's side had all their players. There's a few AVL athletes that did not elect to play.
Yeah.
There was some AVL men's athletes that are in these age groups that did
teams.
play. And athletes of that caliber in this can really matter.
It's a pretty big difference.
Yeah.
Like these events are really good as that stepping stone. I'm glad that they're back because there wasn't really that stepping stone for the people that weren't in national program or college but still within Australia. So now there is at least that thing back again for people that aren't 23s.
That was pretty much you and me. Because I never did it.
It got cancelled.
It got cancelled the year.
It got brought back. I should have done it one year, but I didn't.
But we did AVL that year, didn't we? Yeah. But like my final year of under 19s was the year they announced that was the last year of 21, 23. Yeah. So it was straight to AVL if you could make it. But for Victoria, it was under 21s was a very strong age group. Men and women had gold. So good on them. Under 23 men got gold and the under 19 men's got silver. So congratulations.
Pretty good turnouts
to those teams.
A couple, I think it's worth saying, like the AIS or the Australian, there was a couple of Australian specific teams that performed pretty well. They were younger age group players playing up.
So under 17s and under 19s Australian teams playing in the under 19s comp. One of them actually won it. The other one came third.
Yeah.
So yeah, pretty good. One critique is that there was nowhere to watch.
Nowhere to watch, no streams.
No one.
A couple of people put it up. New South Wales streamed one of the women's. I think it was actually. I don't even think it was an official New South Wales site, but they streamed it with a scoreboard and someone sitting behind it, chit chatting. And I was like, lovely. I don't really want to watch this because I like watching the athletes I know, so I didn't want to watch. That I really would have wanted to watch a couple of the Victorian teams because a few of those boys will be up in.
I feel like in the past. Yeah, I feel like in the past VA have streamed these events before.
Yeah, at least the main court.
Yeah, at least the show court just runs on the YouTube channel. Yeah. Moving on to World Uni Games.
Yeah, this takes us a little bit into the international.
Well, it's another event we can't watch.
Until I wrote this down. Until the semi-finals. The semi-finals get streamed on FISU World Uni website or something.
Is this where we say like, are we actually going to be able to make the semi-finals?
I said, so we're not watching. We're not seeing either of the Australian teams. The Australian World Uni Games men's and women's teams. The men's team did a bit of a tour through Japan.
Yeah.
Didn't see anything get shared from anything there.
We only know about some practice matches.
Yeah, they did practice matches against the senior national B/C team from Japan. Probably C/D, because they're actually at VNL at the moment and whatnot. I've heard that didn't go well for the Australians.
To be fair, as you would expect, this is mostly a uni team versus Japan's third team, which is
that have had professional
seriously
seasons.
A good team. Yeah.
I have heard that they did a practice match against Germany, the men as well. I think when they then got to Germany.
Yeah.
And I think they won that.
Oh.
I heard that they won that, or it was close, or it was
Well, Germany on the national team rankings are nowhere near as good as Japan.
Yeah.
So that's pretty good.
Yeah.
Good sign.
So we'll see how they actually go in the actual tournament. The women have actually played their first game.
I think I saw it on that Volley Trails Instagram that I follow, and they're pretty good with updates. So
it didn't go well.
I'm pretty sure. Yeah, women played their first game against Chinese Taipei, and it was 3-0. Chinese Taipei it looked like a strong scoreline.
Yeah.
The women have kind of got it pretty tough because in their pool they've also got Italy and the USA, who are very, very strong volleyball countries. So. Don't know what, but maybe Chinese Taipei took a really strong team and USA Italy didn't. Like, who knows?
Maybe.
But I don't know if that's like a practice match being posted because I think Volley Trails is actually in different language, the Instagram page. So I don't know. TBC.
Yeah, and then beach volleyball at the World Uni Games I think is delayed a little bit. I don't think that begins till the 21st of July.
Yeah.
I think so. That has a little bit, and I think our teams would be roughly stronger in the beach side,
Like comparatively. I think so.
comparatively. So maybe they'll pull out some surprises there.
Is the men and women staggered for indoor? Because I haven't seen anything from the men's.
I don't think so. I think the men was beginning soon as well. I don't think it is like alternate weeks. Maybe you should have tracked that.
Yeah, we'll have a look. And we'll get back to you next week if we don't cancel it.
There's also good junior experience for some junior national teams. The Oz under-16 boys are away at the moment in an international comp.
Not sure what this comp was, but I saw
it's
it.
under-16s Asian champs.
So similar to the Nations Cup, but for under-16s.
Yeah.
Okay. I like it. I like the idea. Get us exposed as early as we can. I'm thinking under 15, they're 15. That was the age I started volleyball. And these guys have played for Oz.
Like normally the old pathway was that Thailand tour.
Yeah.
But it was like
That was
we took very young teams to that because that's sort of 17 and under.
I was thinking that was under 17s.
I think went quite young. Like some pre-youths. Like I think my first time I was a pre-youth. I was 14 and it's like you're coming up against, I think all the Thai teams were technically high school, university, or
they were 17,
19.
18?
Yeah,
one of the two.
Never got many good results there. A couple of surprises. You made it out of pools and you get a pat on the back, or made it to quarterfinals, and they're like, "Oh my god, best result we've ever had."
I was meant to go one year, couldn't because of I think I had my hand surgery or something, and the team in my trip went and they got really overexcited. They made it out of the pool and they got dominated in the quarters, and I was like, "Oh, fair enough." And in the women's VNL, the men's VNL has had its bye week, so we actually didn't miss anything there. We missed a lot in the women's VNL, but not going to cover all of it. Only that South Korea is confirmed to be relegated. Not super surprised by that one, I don't think.
I mean, they weren't actually that. There was two. Who was the other team? Serbia was also rock bottom, and it's like,
the funniest part about the whole Serbia thing was that they brought back two of their, I don't want to say only players, but like almost only players in Tana Boskovic and I can't remember the other pass hitter's name, but brought back those two. And then somehow, was it them where we shared the scoreline and they won against like Turkey?
No, that was Czechia versus Turkey, where they won 3-1. And I remember the scores because it was just absurd. And I was like, do we have to watch this? The Czech was up. They won 25-22, 25-23 or something. Yeah. And then Turkey won 25-4.
Yeah. And then
lost
they
the
still
fourth
lost
set.
it.
And they've been a real... I just do not understand it at the moment because they have talent. They've made it through to the finals in 6th place, but that was just a while. They've had some real...
Turkey or Czech?
Turkey,
yeah. Turkey.
Czechia's at 11th.
That was why it was such an odd thing. But Serbia managed to win against some teams and then they didn't get... They probably were like, all right, we'll call in the big guns, not get relegated and figure it out next year.
Yeah, but so... There's a few like sort of surprises. I thought China, we talked about, they automatically qualify in 8th place. They actually ended up coming 5th on the women's side.
What would have happened if they didn't come top 8?
They just get the 8th spot.
So whoever is 8th spot just
down,
cops it.
Yeah,
that's so rough.
But some like good performances at USA snuck in at 8th as sort of a
I did because they have been taking predominantly college play.
On the men's side, it's a bit more college, but the women's side, like. They have now played, a lot of their women have played
like that
in the
season.
pro league in America, which is good to see that it's blown up.
I feel bad for France, like quite a good women's country. They just missed out on finals.
Yeah. It was actually Thailand that's tied at the bottom with Korea, but they've got a bonus championship point. They both only won one game.
Thailand's obviously gone to fire with someone.
Yeah. And Canada finished in third last. That's pretty surprising.
That is surprising. To be fair, I don't think Canada have had Kira Van Rijk. And
she was missing. But
a serious player.
She was leading the most aces. I think she only played week 1.
And
she was still top of the leaderboard in most aces until last week, I'm pretty sure, because she was so far and away. Model your service game after her, 100%.
Yeah, I am pretty sure that is right. I'm pretty sure she was still leading in aces like at the end of week 3.
Yeah.
Like gross. But she hasn't been playing, so I don't really know. Yeah, the women's thing is weird. Brazil have figured it out. there
So
now, second.
I've in terms of fantasy match predictors, I've now fallen way down.
Oh,
I'm still
no.
inside the top 100, but I'm pretty sure I'm like 90th at the moment. I
Yeah.
got every win-loss correct last round though.
Just not the set.
I did not get the margins
Yeah.
correct because I had like Brazil winning 3-0 and they dropped a set to someone. It was just really, yeah. So I've fallen down those rankings.
I'm just looking at the men's and nothing super outrageous other than nothing super outrageous. Serbia are dead last.
Yes.
Which is not necessarily outrageous, but it's kind of like the fall of a once great volleyball country.
Yeah.
France, 5th. Ukraine, 6th. That's probably a big underdog story.
I mean, so going back to second last is the lack of Namir effect.
Yeah.
The Netherlands is second last at the moment on 1 win with no Namir, no Van Garderen, no like they're just riding on Coop, right? I think.
Yeah.
So they're a bit struggling down there.
Netherlands is the only team in volleyball where I could say like, one player really does make a big difference.
Yeah.
But like, that kind of solidifies it.
Because on the men's side, it will impact because China will get that automatic 8th qualification on the men's side correct as well.
Which is a bit of a shame because there's still another couple of weeks for them to play.
Yeah.
Actually, there's only one more week. Yeah. So Slovenia may miss out. Cuba's doing well. They're on 7th.
Cuba and Slovenia tied for wins, so maybe one of those will go far of a surprise. Ukraine sitting in 6th is surprising to me that they've gone so high without Plotnitsky.
I just think they do have a decent amount of talent.
Yeah.
Some of those players play with Lorenzo in his team.
But they were also missing
that older guy.
What was I thinking? Who am I thinking of? Was it not Kwolek?
That's Polish.
Yeah. No, but he was in the Polish league. Who I'm thinking of is Ukraine in the Polish league. Can't remember. That's okay. Happens. But he's not playing, so
yeah. But imagine what they would look like with Plotnitsky.
Yeah.
They would, The weirdest thing about this is Brazil have found their form again.
Oh, they've been 3-0ing left, right, and centre, haven't they?
So like that's the real surprise, I guess. Like Bernardino's back at the helm. He's had a year to like get them back on track. And I've been enjoying all the for those who don't know, the Bergman siblings.
Yeah.
Their starting pass sitter for the women's is the sister and the starting pass sitter for the men's, and they're huge and very good.
Is it that Bruno's not there anymore? They've got some new setting
they got
talent.
Kachoppa who's in. I really like Kachoppa. I also love seeing the memes of him crashing out like every game. Like it's just very entertaining. Moving on to...
Or the last one that is surprising to me, actually, because I still want to hit one more.
Yeah.
Is I thought that they were maybe still going to be top 8, but fall down the ladder because they don't have Sakita. Japan's still in 4th.
I think as good as Ran and Ishikawa and Nishida are, I actually have thought this for a couple of years now since watching them back in like maybe the year after they lost the Olympics, like 2021 or 2 VNL, when they had like Kai come in and service sub, and he was this 19-year-old kid at the time who was just blasting serves, and I was like, this guy's unreal. And then we saw Miyaura come in and was like, this guy's actually kind of maybe better than Nishida. Like, they actually have quite a lot of depth, I feel like.
Yeah.
Especially
well,
now
I
we've
still
seen...
thought missing the setter would be an issue, but I actually think on Kai, going back sort of to the start of VNL, he had a really good game against Poland. I remember it was like, I remember thinking, I didn't think the other hitter had a great connection. I don't remember which one it was that was in the starter. And then Kai rolled in and he was just in really good form really early. And that made me think, oh, maybe Japan can still do it without Sakita, because if any of the hitters have an issue, normally Sakita would fix that. But now it's like,
what
you have
happens?
to resort to switching the hitter. But they do have enough talent.
Now they can just make it work.
Yeah.
And this is a broader conversation. I would love to get some experts on to like really talk about this. But like now that Japan's league is going to be really good with lots of foreigners and it's going to get way better. It's already got, do you reckon Japan's rise in depth is, you probably have to attribute it to the fact that all of their bench players and beyond have now gotten way better because they've gotten to play with all these foreigners.
Yeah.
And that are really, really good in all these teams.
Because probably some people be like, oh, but now the local Japanese player that would maybe be next up is now pushed one more rung down. But they get the quality at training and whatnot.
Yeah,
so
and the league gets better.
And the league gets better, so they go to a different club and they still grow.
But at the end of the day, the foreigner limit still exists so that they can like make their local talent better.
Yeah, or they're inflating it to let more foreigners come, which is good. The contracts there seem good.
Yeah.
The environment seems good. It's surprising to me that so many international players are going there, even though so many of them seem to mention TJ DeFalco. It's so many games, blah, blah, blah.
But then he signed a second-year contract.
He's renewing it.
Yeah.
I thought when he did all those comments, I was like, oh, he's done his year. He's going to
move on. I thought
because it's too much on his body because he has had more niggles than he's had in the past.
Yeah.
But he's loved it and he's staying. So
I do have to ask the question, like, and this is something you would assume, but you never really know until you experience it or you hear directly is like, yes, there's a ton more games, which is a toll on your body. But with more games, with more foreigners, with more media attention, with more money, with more like, does the care for the player suddenly just go through the roof?
Yeah.
And you go, yeah, this is a lot of games, but I'm getting treated every day, and
you're not playing as much in every game.
Yeah.
You're doing a little less in every game.
yeah. So, like, you know, obviously you and I don't know. Oh, you can probably just go and ask. We have a couple of friends that are playing in that league, and yeah, but it's an interesting conversation to have because there's a lot more players and there's some players I thought would never play in that league that are playing in that league. Like I can't wait to see how Steven Boyer goes in that league. Like I just think he'll either be okay or he'll be incredible.
Yeah. And see if it improves or affects international play at all. Because I think the Japan League also has, like, you're not in CEV. You're not juggling that alongside it. Versus if you're in a top Polish team, you have to factor in that you're doing those competitions as well.
And this is what someone else mentioned is like people kind of say like, oh, that Japan's league plays 44 games or whatever it is. But if like you're playing 36 games or 32 games in a European league, but if you're in CEV, you're also playing an additional 12 games. So you're actually playing like 50 games. So you're playing more. So yeah, it's a good point. Like and you're traveling probably a lot more than what you are across Europe compared to just in Japan. Or I guess if you sign up for additional, you're there to play volleyball. Go and play volleyball.
And speaking of playing volleyball, the way where we have to play because we're not playing in Japan.
No.
State League, we've missed a couple rounds, so we'll take through a couple of the faster, quick results because there's some interesting results still from round 13. Starting on the men's side, we can go through quick that Dandenong did get a set off Yarra.
Yes,
3-1. I remember hearing about that the other week, and it was just I think Yarra got a little comfortable, and Dandenong knows how to capitalise here and there to win points. So it was something we thought about in round 14 when we played them.
Yeah.
So that was a good win. And then Monash put Maroondah back in their place with a 3-0 win. I think Maroondah has had a couple.
Getting a bit confident.
Yeah, they got confident. They had a couple good wins as of late, I think. Earlier than that, they got the set off Yarra before. They've really cemented themselves at the moment, I think, better than the bottom, but still not quite matching
getting
up with the
into the top 9, 8 sort of group. Mind you, it's hard to make finals this year because it's top 6.
Yeah.
Then there's you guys.
Then there was us. This was the game where I got yelled at.
This is
not particularly. College player back in Melbourne playing for Mazenod. He is an opposite. So I'll give him credit that he's playing pass hitter.
Oh,
probably affects him that we served so much at him or around him because...
I mean, knowing that he's an opposite, you would do that.
But he's trying to get the reps, so he said thank you because he's playing pass hitter next year at college.
I like that.
So he was just really good at the stick. He was Mazenod's standout player. They had some absences with just people taking their holidays at the moment.
Yeah, I did hear about this.
So they were missing their setter. They were missing their other starting pass hitter, so they were down the rung a bit, and they did get a set off us.
All excuses. It's fine.
All excuses. What? From us? No excuses. They were just really, really solid. Considering each other set, I just looked at the scores because I was like, I remember the other sets were relatively comfortable.
Were they?
Every other set was 25-16. First set 25-16,
That
third
is
set
pretty comfortable.
25-16, fourth set 25-16.
Pretty good.
And it felt like the rest of the sets fell into place the same way, but they were still really, really aggressive.
And then the next game is Latrobe and Heidelberg. And I think we all know how this one went.
We know how this one went.
3-0.
And it probably takes Heidelberg out. Latrobe's fairy tale story of they still make finals, I think is done.
And then in round 14, Phantoms and Yarra had the away double up. Yarra winning twice.
Was this is a different stadium though?
This is in Ballarat, not Bendigo.
Yes.
So, yeah, Yarra getting it done really cleanly, 3-0, 3-0. Not much to be said about this one.
Not much to be said.
You guys actually did it also cleanly in 3-0. This is one of our few 3-0s.
Yeah, we had
like.
the conversation after the game or pre-game as well, knowing Dandenong got set off Yarra earlier. They got to set off us earlier in the year, that we are still a little shaky in that we still had a couple of people missing or we're still trying to work out some things. But like it's getting the end of the season, we need to have better performances. We'll have a real test in round 15. So this was just really on our side of the net that we needed to keep it finished, and it was
and you did
good,
which is good. And then VFUM and Cobras got their confidence back after the
young
week
boys.
Before. They got the game 3-1 from VFUM, and the scoreline is okay. When I say okay, I mean 22-25, and it's like, all right, that's modest from Cobras. And then it's 30-28 from VFUM, and it's like, all right, yeah, that's fair enough. And then it's 25-20, and it's like, oh, yeah, fair enough. And then it's 25-10. So I don't know what happened in that last set, but Cobras really just taking it in the end really comfortably, which is good on them. And then the other doubleheader, which was
the second half of the back-to-back,
which
Yarra winning as well.
Yeah. And then on to the women's side.
In round 13, it opened with a 5-setter at Maroondah Nets, Cobras versus Monash.
This is really funny. No, I won't say it. I'll leave it for another 2 episodes' time when I know how the ladder shakes up. This was a very important match for a couple of teams in the league. Won't talk about it now, but Cobras were 2 sets up. Monash changed a few things and end up reverse sweeping them in 5. So good on them for doing that.
Might be lucky because I mean, this was probably the last round that they still had to play before she's at World Uni Games, correct?
Yep.
Was she still there this week?
She was there. She was playing middle for the first 2 sets, and then they were like, we probably need you on the stick.
Yeah.
Is what I heard. This was the very light round.
There was not many games on the women's side in particular. Dandenong 3-0 Latrobe University.
Which is to be expected. Dandenong, seriously one of the top teams at the moment. They are well and truly above everyone on the top of the ladder, so fair enough.
And then your women were able to get a win against Mazenod.
We were. Mazenod really took it to us in the first set. I haven't seen them play that often, but this was definitely some of the best volleyball I've seen out of them. They really took it to us hard in that first set. Honestly smoked us 25-17. And then we changed nothing other than just nurturing the first ball because they were serving tough. They were hitting the ball really hard. So we were just like, we loosened our expectations on the first ball and then we managed to figure it out, and they sort of ran out of steam a little bit with that quality of play. But yeah, this was a really good match. They really made us work for it. We won in 4 in the end.
Yeah. And then round 14 on the women's side was even lighter in the schedule.
Yeah.
Which is why, sorry, Yarra, you couldn't get match of the week again this week too, because you do make up 2/3 of the matches.
Yeah, there were 3 total matches and you were 2 of them.
So Yarra and Phantoms had a double header out in Ballarat.
Almost as clean as the boys. Not quite.
3-1 in the first game, Yarra winning, and Yarra winning again 3-0. And the other game that happened at Mazenod was VIP versus Mazenod. This one did seem interesting, going to 5. Sort of that battle for development down there. I think they're both trying to prove that they can get wins.
Yeah. VIP end up winning in 5.
Yes.
So good on VIP for figuring that out. But it did. The scorelines are quite tight, 25-16 and above every set. And then the 5th set was 15-11. So pretty tight in the end. So it sounded like it was a pretty good round despite the fact that there was 2 games of volleyball. 3 games of volleyball.
Not a whole lot of volleyball.
Not a lot of volleyball.
Because a lot of the teams, I think Volleyball Victoria lightened up. A lot of the junior teams had the
That
junior
was
team
over the
suspended
nationals.
because it was over AJVC.
Yeah.
So you're just expecting people to be absent.
Yeah. We will quickly throw to our sponsor for this week's episode. This episode is brought to you by Andor Financial.
Now, as some of you know, a good friend of ours, good friend of the show, and our Melbourne Uni Renegades captain, Michael Cirillo, has recently started his own mortgage broking business.
Not only this, but Mike and Andor Financial have committed to supporting and sponsoring Net Talk for the indefinite future.
If you didn't know, Mike has spent the last 10 years in the finance industry in both financial planning and mortgage broking roles and is super passionate about empowering people to take control of their financial future.
So you or if anyone you know is in need of a home loan or would like to review their current lending situation, reach out to Mike and Andor Financial.
You can find out more information in the footnotes or description down below.
Thank you again to Andor Financial for sponsoring Net Talk. And we're back. Round 15.
Round 15, getting to the end.
How many rounds are there in the season? 18?
18.
There's 3 rounds left, Alex.
Yeah.
Wow.
3.
That flew really fast.
Yeah, and there's still matches that matter.
There
all
are.
right? Which it'll just shake out a little bit of where the standing is. Because on the men's side in particular, the top 3 are all pretty close. Second and third, Monash Yarra tied on the 11 and we're sitting in 4th. So there's going to be some tight matches. This round, the top 4 are all playing each other.
Yeah,
which makes it hard to pick which match
it
to
was
post.
very tough on who. We'll get to the match of the week when we get to it.
So the first match of the day is Latrobe versus VFAM. This will just be to see who can find some form going to the end of the season. Unfortunately, it is a lower bracket matchup.
Can I throw to a side topic real fast? For those listening, the biggest sort of gripe, and you know this because we talk about it off air all the time, is when we get to this phase of the season, the people who can't make finals have nothing really to play for, right? Except for if there was relegation.
Yeah, right now, yes.
I just feel like relegation would make it so spicy and so much more entertaining. And yeah, there's a lot of league logistics you would need to figure out, sure, but every high-performing league in the world that we follow has relegation, and that I think is what makes it really interesting.
I think it'll be spiritually, it's a 10th versus 11th matchup.
Yeah.
Like tied on wins at the moment. Latrobe's first year in Premier 1.
Yeah, exactly.
You showed a lot of promise over the first half of the season, but that was also when they got where they had the most growth.
Yeah.
But they also had the most like middle/easy margins that they should have won.
Yeah.
But because it was still early, they lost a couple of those matches. So now they're in this position where they've had a really hard run the second half of the season.
But it's good learning for them, and it's good that we don't have relegation, I guess. And if you want to have the other side of that coin, it's like you get to have
a little bit more prep. But I know those guys don't want to be 11th. So they'll need to win this one, and they'll need to try and find some wins over the end of the season. So there's still a lot to play for.
True. But back to the side topic. What do you guys think about relegation and promotion? Like, throw us in the comments. Let us know what
let us know.
Because we talk about it all the time.
Yeah.
And I want to throw to like a wider audience to be like, what do we actually think about this?
And if you're on one of the teams that would get relegated, would you still say I'm pro relegation, or do you start going, nah, not this year?
Because this is like annoying because it's like it's hard for you and I to comment because we've been on a winning team for a long time where we've always made finals. We've sort of been so it's. But I would imagine it that if I played volleyball and won 1 or 2 games all season, I'd be like, yeah, I'll go down a division and then figure out if we can win that division, go back up, get another chance. Like, I don't know. But again, I haven't experienced it, so I'm not sure.
I mean, a lot of players do their time in lower divisions before you come up to a top division team.
Yeah.
Played years in the P2 or whatever.
Yeah, that's true.
Sometimes some people fast track that. You just, if you're young and talented, sometimes you get a fast track somewhere.
Up.
But yeah.
Anyways, back on track.
Match of the week.
Yarra versus Heidelberg. People are going to start saying we're Yarra fanboys, but like we're not. Yarra just end up being middle top of the ladder, so they just end up getting all the matchups.
Yeah. Well,
that's what we're going to say anyway.
Yeah, well, they're tied second on the men's side. They sit third based on
their ranking.
Yeah. They have played a couple more matches than Monash at the moment because Monash still has a doubleheader, I think, coming. But
yeah.
But maybe they could give Heidelberg a loss right before the end of the season.
Heidelberg have not gone through any of the years lossless yet.
Undefeated.
No, they haven't, because the last year we beat them. The year before that, Yarra beat them.
Yeah.
So we don't play them again this year unless we play them in finals. So maybe Yarra might be the team.
And Yarra do have a historically good matchup against Heidelberg. They do look nice against them.
Yeah, Yarra are probably one of 3 teams that have the capability to win against that team genuinely.
Yeah.
So yeah, that is the match of the week at Maroondah Nets at 12:30. Dandenong and Maroondah also at Maroondah Nets after that game.
Hard game to follow up, but this will be a good one. Maroondah will need to secure this win to try and slot into 6th place. It's still
doable for them.
It's still within grasp. And if they get into 6th, maybe the young guys or can with a few more experienced players that have come through this season, maybe if you get into 6th, you can upset someone to make it through.
Yeah. And then the next one, and this was a very close second for match of the week. The reason why it's not match of the week is because it's at Monash.
And can't pick ourselves again.
And we can't pick ourselves again. But also, it's really hard to pick games that are at not central venues. Dandenong's not central.
I mean, we're weighing up Maroondah as well, but there's at least a lot of games going on at Maroondah.
Yeah.
So there'll be a lot of people, juniors out there as well, if you're there to watch.
Yeah.
But this one's at Monash, and it is Renegades versus Monash.
Yeah, this is going to be a big one. We played them first game of the season, no? And it's been a long time since we've played them.
Yeah.
They are missing a couple key players.
We were a bit understaffed in that first matchup.
And now they're
on our side. Now they're a bit understaffed.
Yeah.
And it went to 5 falling in their favour. Maybe we can flip it back the other way.
I was just thinking to myself, when was the last time we played Monash and both teams were at full strength? It's been a long time.
Yeah.
It's been a really long time.
Well, they have a lot more depth this year, I think, than
Previous years. That is true.
And they've got a few of those interstate boys that I think are still there playing at the moment. I think a couple of brothers that'll be there.
I think you're right. The last game of the day is Mazenod versus Eastside rather at Mazenod at 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock. Yeah, this is going to 5.
This should also theoretically has the same weight as one of those top ender matchups because this is 6th, Eastside sitting in 6th, but they can't really drop these games. And Mazenod were in pretty good form 2 weeks ago when we played them. I think they had the week off, didn't they? So maybe a couple of their players will be back, but it was just it will matter. This game will matter too.
It will matter.
At that point of the season where sometimes I always say, it just clocks out a bit. There's not much going on.
Yeah, but there's
still a couple games that matter because this week is really top loaded with the 1v4s matching up.
Yeah.
And also that 5th v6 matchups across the men's.
And it is exactly the same on the women's side. So moving on the women's side, we've got first up Monash and Renegades. This is not like a top of the ladder kind of thing, but this is actually quite a lot on the line for this game. We need to win to keep our very minimal chances of finals still alive. Monash need to win to really have a better lineup in the first matchup. They probably don't want to be in a position where they'll have to play a Dandenong or a Yarra first. And then next on the list is VFUM and Cobras. I won't spoil too much, but depending on how this game goes will also depend on how our final chances looks.
You're looking at yourself now, but it will matter because
all I'm saying is I am going for VFUM in this specific circumstance.
VFUM will be going for themselves as well because 4th through 6th on the women's side are all tied on wins.
Yes.
So it'll be trying to break out of that. If you fall to that 5th or 6th, you match up with the Dandenong or the Yarra.
Yeah.
So you are trying to get out of those.
If you're because you're right. There's a lot of teams on that 32 points. The team on 32 points right now that can steal every single win they possibly can to get into 5th will look better.
Yeah.
That's probably what all those teams are looking to do. And one of those teams needs to win. Like all of those teams need to win one more time, otherwise we'll catch them.
Yeah.
Or we're going to try to.
Yeah.
And the next one is VIP versus Heidelberg. VIP been on a bit of a good run recently. Heidelberg is one of those teams in that 4 through 6 that are all on the same points. So they'll be looking for this win, I would assume. They'd probably get it, but you never really know with the way that VIP play. They have upset some teams. They've taken sets every week. So this could be an interesting matchup. But the most interesting matchup of the week is Yarra and Dandenong, and it is the match of the week.
Pat yourselves on the back, Yarra. You get the nod again.
You get it again. This time, Dandenong finally get it. They probably have deserved it a few extra times as well because they are top of the ladder and they have been all season. But this is 1v2. This is the matchup we've all been waiting for. Any thoughts about this one?
I was trying to see about
the history. I was
trying to look at the ladder, why there is even Dandenong sitting on first, but they're on the same wins and losses. But then I was like, Yarra also has a better set 1 percentage than Dandenong.
Because
So
they
had lost the points.
They lost points due to a bylaw violation early in the season.
So you have to make up for that to get back.
So
to
Yarra
first.
Technically could be top of the ladder right now, but they are not.
So this win will get you the regular season award potentially. So you'll want to really win this. It'll be a big heated matchup. This one's also at Maroondah Nets. So both the matches, if you're at Maroondah, you can sit there from 12:30, watch the men. This game's at 2:30.
Right after it, probably on the other side of the hall.
Yeah.
The last time these two teams played, it was very early in the season and it did go to 5 and Dandenong did just take it in the 5th, I believe. Last game of the day is Mazenod and Latrobe at Latrobe. I don't think we've seen a game at Latrobe, have we?
Maybe early.
Maybe a couple.
Yeah, maybe a couple. A few here and there. But this will be a good one just to see people find their feet.
Again, I unfortunately think this is two teams that probably can't make a run to sneak a finals spot.
It's the battle battle who can pull up their bootstraps towards the end of the season, sneak up that ladder just a little bit for personal pride and development.
Well, it's also now that the VV are doing the seeding system, that extra place probably does matter. Like if you want to finish 10th instead of 11th,
if you get a double header against a certain team next year, and prove to yourself Latrobe as a new team for Premier 1.
Yeah, I can certainly say with that the seeding did matter for our team this year in terms of who we play. It would matter for every team, but I was only paying attention to the one from my team, so. It did make a difference, slight difference. We played several top teams more than several bottom teams based on the seeding. So it can make a difference. But that's about all we got for you.
That's all we got for you today. Hopefully we caught you back up on everything going on.
And we did it in record time as well. Normally we just yappa. I even threw in a side quest in there.
Brought back relegation again.
Bring back relegation. Well, I wasn't around back when relegation was here. Were you?
No.
Because it was before I got here. I don't know how long.
Relegation?
Yeah, there was. I was told that there was, but I don't know. It was like 2014 or something. Yeah. Anyways, you guys let us know in the comments. Otherwise, you guys know where to find us, and we'll catch you next time.
See ya.